Hey guys, welcome back to this episode. Today we're going to be talking about the difference between core stability and core strength, because there's a little confusion sometimes between the two when people are talking and prescribing different exercises. Let's start off with core strength in the terms. So like with any muscle, strength generally occurs by just the force that you're able to lift something with, or just the strength of the muscle. So your abdominals, the motion that it does, just like your bicep will flex, your core will attach from your pelvis up to your ribs, and it is going to crunch down. So that's where the toes to bar, abdominal crunches, anything where you're moving, that comes in. That's where more working on your core strength. Core stability is more so strength to prevent movement. So like a plank, a farmer carry, a suitcase carry, pal-off presses, anything that you're doing that is resisting motion. So you have anti-rotation, anti-flexion, anti-extension. Those are all stability exercises. So main difference between the two, for strength, you're going to be moving through it, such as like a toes to bar or a crunch. Stability, you're going to have like your planks here. You're going to have your side planks. Even something like a bird dog, where your core is here, your extremities are moving, but your core is not. So that's still working on core stability, and that specifically one is working with extremity disassociation as well, which is excellent for practicing core strength with like walking, things like that. Which one should you do? Really all depends on what your goal is. If your goal is just to have big blocky abs, if you just want to have nice abs, then core strength is fine. You're really going to work those muscles. You're going to contract them just like any other muscle that you would, shortening and elongating. If your goal is just to have more core stability, to help prevent pain, to improve your like Olympic lifting or CrossFit, because most of CrossFit, anything like a squat, front squat, snatch, clean, all those involve core stability, not necessarily strength, because in all those movements, your core is bracing your back, you're not moving. So in all those motions, those lifts, say you're doing a snatch, your core shouldn't move. That's where you want to do more stability training versus strength training. So like I said, it just depends on what your goal is. Both are good, both are fine. I prefer that you maybe do a little bit of both if you don't have any specific goal in mind. If you're just general fitness, maybe do a little both. A little bit of stability, a little bit of strength. That way you get a little of the aesthetic look as well as just the overall core stability. And then also when we talk about core, we're not just talking about your abdominals, right? You have your rectus abdominis right here in the front. You have all your obliques on the sides. You have your QL and your erector spinae on the back. And you have your glutes, which also help to support your back. These all help to form your trunk control and strength. And then also you have on the bottom, you have your diaphragm, or on the top you have your diaphragm, and then on the bottom you have your pelvic floor. So think of it as a Pepsi can. So if you have a full Pepsi can, right, it's closed on the top, it's closed on the bottom, wrapped all the way around. It's really hard to break. So if you were trying to push it, it wouldn't break open at all. If you pop the top of the can, it becomes really unstable. You could break the can easily, even if there was no fluid in it. If it was just an empty can that was closed, much harder to break because there's that gap, so you can't increase that pressure in there. So any gap in your system, whether it be your core, your diaphragm, so breathing, or even the pelvic floor area, all those areas can help contribute to a non-stable core or back, however you prefer to say it, because no matter how much pressure you're increasing in these areas, there's a leak in the system somewhere, so the pressure is released. So you want to make sure you hit all the areas, make sure you're breathing good. The pelvic floor area, a lot of that can come in when you're training your glutes as well. They've done a lot of research, and some have shown that contraction of your glutes actually automatically bring contraction of the pelvic floor as well. So just keep that in mind when you're training. But like I said, just do, unless you have a very specific goal, then try to incorporate both strength and stability. Other than that, guys, we'll see you next time. Make sure you guys subscribe to keep up with the next video.